morning, Novi, and welcome back to the Cat's Eye News. I'm Renee Boudreau.
And I'm Ashley Nelson.
Remember, it's the 5th of November. That phrase was coined today over 400 years ago. Here's a look at this week in history.
On the 5th of November 1605, Guy Fawkes and a few of his other conspirators attempted to blow up the British Parliament and King James I. Their scheme was eventually discovered, and Fawkes was tortured, hanged, and drawn in London. The day is still remembered as Guy Fawkes Day and celebrated widely in the UK. New York's Museum of Modern Arts opened on November 7, 1929. It is one of the first modern arts museums in the world, and it has famous artworks, including Van Gogh's Starry Night. The fall of the Berlin Wall happened on the 9th of November 1989. This led to the reunification of Germany and the end of the Cold War. By the way, did you know that you can buy an original piece of the wall for only $10? And that's it for This Week in History. Tom Masuda from the Cat's Eye News, signing off.
Today, Media Mania will play Jeopardy in teams to explore the history of rap after school in room 266. Tomorrow marks a historical election. And while many of us are too young to vote in the midterm elections, some Novi seniors will be voting for their first time. This election cycle, there are proposals on the Michigan ballot to legalize marijuana to end the process of gerrymandering and to increase accessibility to voting. This election also has the most women candidates in American history. Wynn Scott has more information on this year's political candidates.
The amount of information out there about this election can be overwhelming, so let's take a closer look at the top of this year's ticket, the race for governor of Michigan. Who are the candidates? Running as the Republican is former Michigan Attorney General Bill Schuette. Schuette's primarily campaigning on the national Republican tax breaks that were implemented last year and has pledged to reduce taxes and industry regulations in the state. In terms of education, Schuette has been a strong supporter of private schools and has proposed that a possible solution to the schooling crisis in Detroit would be to provide transportation scholarships to low-income students, allowing them to attend school in the suburbs. Unlike most other Republicans, Schuette has publicly supported protecting health insurance coverage for individuals with pre-existing conditions. Like many of the Republican gubernatorial candidates across the nation, President Trump has endorsed Schuette. On the other hand is Democratic candidate Gretchen Whitmer. Whitmer is a former state senator and was the Michigan House Democratic leader for a number of years. Like many other Democrats, Whitmer has rebranded herself as a more progressive candidate over the course of this election cycle. For example, Whitmer supports raising the state's minimum wage to $15 an hour, and she has campaigned on increasing state-funded health care coverage by expanding Medicaid. Whitmer has also taken a strong anti-gun stance in lieu of the Parkland shooting and March for Our Lives movement. One of Whitmer's biggest campaign points is her plan to rebuild Michigan's roads, which she hopes will save Michiganders hundreds of dollars a year and help out businesses in the state. Gretchen Whitmer has received a number of endorsements on the campaign trail, most notable of which are former President Barack Obama and Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders. While polling has put Gretchen Whitmer ahead of Schuette by a number of points, she has been losing ground, making this election a potential toss-up. With so many issues at stake, it is important that everyone who can vote in tomorrow's election does vote. You can find out more about these candidates at BillSchuette.com and GretchenWhitmer.com. I'm Wynn Scott with the Cat's Eye News, signing off.
Mr. Brenner's AP Government class is hosting a mock election today during all lunches. Tables will be set up on the west side of the atrium for you to simulate casting your vote. Want to talk politics? Diversity Club will have a speak out in room 254 after school today to discuss this year's election. Hey Ashley, did you hear that the cafeteria is selling new smoothies this week?
No, I didn't. What kind of smoothies are there?
Today they're going to be selling strawberry banana and mango. Wednesday they'll have pina colada and good morning. And on Friday they'll have cherrylicious and mixed berry. All the smoothies are made with real fruit and they're all gluten, nut, egg, and dairy free.
That sounds really good.
Yeah, that's it for school news. Now Roberta Lene with sports.
The girls swim and dive team had a successful KLAA championship meet this past weekend. Senior Michaela Hill was the KLAA champion in diving. Sophomore Julia Katolsky set a new school record in the 100 freestyle. Anna Fonda and Anna Gordon also earned state cuts. The Wildcats finished in third place with a total of 715 points. The Novi Divers will compete in the regional competition this Thursday. That's all for your sports report. Now, back to the desk.
That's it for your school news today. We won't have school tomorrow, so we'll be back on Thursday with more Cat's Eye News. I'm Renee Boudreau.
And I'm Ashley Nelson. Have a great day.